Good afternoon, guys. This is David and Laura from Busy Bee Farms, and we're going to take a walk down here and show you the back garden, which will be the second garden tour. You saw the front garden, but now Laura's going to show you the back garden. So we're walking up to our bees, and I just wanted to take a second to show you our bees. Now it needs to be weed eated around. As you can see, the yard guy needs tuning up here and getting out here and getting on the yard. But just to show you a little bit of our bees. They are really active today, and I was watching them from a ways away, and they just seem to be going straight up into the sky over this way past that tree. It's hard to see them on camera, but I'm not sure where they're going to get pollen and nectar, but they're flying and going straight up over the trees up that way. So they're going into town somewhere to find what they want, and boy are they working. But that wasn't the purpose of our video today. I just, as we were walking by it, I wanted to take a second to show that to you, and because I just really like the bees and I wanted to share that with you. So Laura's gonna take over and show you the garden here. We turned off this electric fence up at the house as we come in, and so our turnip greens didn't do real hot in the our spring turnip greens, and I don't know if it's underneath these trees it's not getting what it needs, because I've got a couple around the outside edges that are growing like they should. So I don't know if these trees here are blocking these from growing like they should. Anyways, that's another story for another time. So go ahead, Laura.
Well, these 3 rows are our potatoes we planted back in the spring. We have 3 rows of those. They are the Kenneback potatoes that we planted. We had some helpers with these potatoes. Miss Natalie and Miss Bailey Sunshine helped plant these potatoes back in the spring.
Really big, strong plants.
They seem to be doing really well.
As you can see, they are healed, but they were not healed when we planted them. So they're about knee high on me, to give you a little bit of a reference as to how tall they are. And as you can see, they're starting to bloom. Now, if I remember correctly, I was taught that when they bloom, when they put on these flowers, they're growing a potato in the ground. So that's what I remember. We got, this one ain't doing real good, but I need to come down through here and till in between the rows. Get this turnip green out of here, because I don't need my potato plant having to fight this turnip green to grow. So we'll just rip him off and get this grass out. Anyways, I was trying to come down here to show you these that were flowering out. So if I remember correctly, that means that they are sprouting potatoes under the ground. And we should have...
Look, you can see these onions. They are really starting to grow.
We come through here and picked all this out the other day. And we didn't do fabric around these because we didn't have the smaller fabric when we put these in. But you can see this onion.
It's really starting to grow. We've never grown onions before, and this is our first year. These are candy onions that we bought from the Amish in Kentucky.
But I don't remember how many's here, but you can see it's quite a few.
I want to say 36.
36. And Laura will use these to do her salsa and stuff.
Yes.
So as you can see, that right there is nearly half the size of my fist. A little over half the size of my fist.
They've grown a lot in just over a week, because that's when we came out here and weeded them.
Right,
And
last week when we weeded them.
Yeah.
So, and they are up almost hip high on me to the tops of these leaves. So that's something new for us. There's some more little flowers on that potato plant. And then our poor beans.
Oh, yeah, just like the peppers I told you that were struggling, our green beans have also been struggling. We've been having such a time getting them to germinate and grow and last. So we're not sure what we're doing wrong. Could be the weather, crazy growing season that it is.
We did find out that Laura reminded me that the bag of green bean seed,
yeah,
it was from 3 years ago.
Yeah, so our first planting was from very old seed. Our second planting was from seed last year. And then Olivia and I just planted this again yesterday. I don't even know how many seeds we put in, but we put a lot in. So hopefully we will.
If there's a hole in this fabric and it doesn't have a plant growing up in it, it's been planted twice.
Yes.
Well, 3 times.
Yep.
It was planted the first time, didn't come up.
Yep.
We replanted it.
And we started with the Blue Lake bush beans.
Yeah.
What we replanted this last time was top crop. We've never grown those before, so we'll see what.
That's all they had at Co-op though. So, as you can see, this one's sprouted. You can still see the bean around it after it took root. It pushed up, and that's the bean, and this leaf is coming up out. So they're sprouted out. So they are trying, but this little fella, to give you a reference how big he is, that's my finger against the dirt, and he's about as big as my hand. And you can see them up through there. There are several that have come up, and maybe it was just old seed, and that was my fault. You know, I just grabbed the bag of seed. I didn't know that we had 4-year-old seed, 3-year-old seed, whatever. So this is our beans, and we're steadily working on getting more. You can see down in this hole right there in front of my finger that one of the bean seeds is starting to come up. So we'll just keep trying until we get it to come up. And you know, Co-op didn't have the seed that we normally get, so that little fella there is about the size of my hand. So that's 3 rows of beans.
Yes.
That should be 155 plants.
Yes.
And if they all come up, then Laura would have her hands full.
Yes. Lots of canning green beans, but we love green beans.
This row
This is our watermelons.
is Laura and Olivia's watermelons.
Yes.
And they've not gotten up above the plastic a lot.
But they've put on their true leaves. So
Yes.
they're starting to grow, and as you can see down in there, they're continuing to grow even more. So this plant is very healthy looking. Very healthy.
And we did row these. We healed the row. We healed it. Then we put down the fabric, burnt the holes, and put in our seed. And some of them here haven't come up, and some of them are just down in there.
Yes. I think I counted between 30 and 40 plants that have come up and germinated. We have a Whitetail Mountain from Baker Creek, and we have a Sugar Baby from the Amish store in Kentucky. They're more of a small personal size watermelons, so they're supposed to be super sweet. Hope they really do well. Olivia loves watermelon.
We got to do something to help her to want to get out here. So these are their first leaves, if I understand correctly. The little round ones are their first leaves.
Sprouts. Yes.
And then these
Those
are
true leaves.
their true leaves, and they'll start vining and running